It's good morning, Jamie Maserow. Thanks for joining us here at Yellow Shelf.
Hi, good morning, Joe. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, so good. Congratulations. Your book is about to hit pre-order, but by the time this goes out, everyone can jump on and get the book. Congratulations, The Therapist in Therapy. Tell
Yeah.
us all about it. Tell us what we need to know.
The Therapist in Therapy is my book, and it's me. I am the therapist in therapy. Um, the story behind the book, Joe. So I wrote it 6 weeks, in 6 weeks, about 3 years ago, just for me. It,
Yeah.
it was my sort of life story through my therapy sessions, and it was a personal project I did. And it was so healing for me.
Yeah.
I love doing it. Like I wrote it while I was working full time as a psychologist, had weddings every weekend, but it had to come out of me.
Yeah.
And then I passed it on to a few people close to me. I was like, oh, look what I wrote. And they were like, oh my goodness. Like they were quite shocked. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They told me they learnt stuff. Sam told me they cried, they laughed.
Mm.
They were kind of like, this needs to be something.
Yeah.
So I was, yeah.
Jamie, do you think it is? Because when I got your book, I was like, is there a stigma around seeing a therapist in therapy? Is that why people, do you know, is that a legitimate question, I guess?
Well, I guess as a therapist or as a psychologist, you have to have professional supervision, which is different. And then many do have their own therapists as well. And I don't know, some might not. I don't know that there's a
Yeah.
stigma around it. I
Okay.
think it would be normal, but I don't think it would be normal to write it out in a book to share with
True.
the world.
True, true.
I think
Yeah.
that's the bit about my
Yeah,
book.
okay.
It's a little bit out there. But I guess, Joe, everyone has a story. Every single person, whether you're a therapist or not, you will have a story. We've all kind of gone through good times and hard times in this life. It's part of, being a human or being alive. And that's why I'm willing to put my book out there and share it,
Yeah.
even
And
though I'm a therapist.
yeah, and look, I was just talking to you off camera, Jamie, and,
Yeah.
and I shared with you the story that I was, this is nearly 30 years ago. I heard someone a lot older than me make an off the cuff line like, hey, all sane people need a therapist. And I remember being a teenager, and thinking, wow, if he needs a therapist, it was kind of like a really comforting validation, at a time in my life where I'd lost a parent. So there was definitely like, it just for you, like I just shared with you, for the last 30 years, that's been like permission for me to be okay, no matter what the season or the reason, to just be wholeheartedly embracing of therapy. Do you know?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it's super interesting talking about therapy, and particularly from a therapist like you. Jamie,
Yeah.
so tell us what you go from, deciding to write this memoir to write about it. Like, what was that process like? Yeah, like you got a lot of validation. Tell us all about that.
Yeah. So it just got the first thing that happened is that it got written. It was
Yeah.
written in 6 weeks and then it was there.
Wow.
And then it's taken me now almost 3 years to get it out into the world.
Yeah.
Um, it was like I worked with different editors in the 3 years. I had a few like hard things happen in my personal life and I hated the book and I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want to like not interested in the book. And then it was last year in July where I don't know how I somehow got the confidence to be like, it's time. And the way I started that bit was starting an Instagram, which I'd put off for 2.5 years because so many people said to me, you'll never get it published. Who are you? Do you
Yeah.
understand how hard it is to publish a book? Who do you think you are? I got told that a lot, Joe.
Yeah. Wow.
But I knew for the whole time in my gut that it would come out into the world in the right way at the right time.
Yes.
I never questioned that, even though kind of the odds were against me. So
Yeah.
I went onto social media scarily. I was so scared to do that. And I was so reluctant, especially being a psych. I was like, I'd rather
Sure.
put my energy into being a better psychologist than making Instagram posts, if I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the kind of the way the world's moving. And
Yes.
so you have to go with it, right? You can
Yeah.
resist it until a
Yes.
certain point.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I went onto Instagram and started this page. I was petrified. And then I came across the kind press, Natasha.
Mm.
And I loved that before I knew Natasha, I loved the name The Kind Press because I think our world needs so much more
Yeah.
kindness. And I think
Mm.
we can all just be kind. It's something I try teach a lot with all the different kids I work with. Like,
Yes.
let's be kind. And I was like, the kind press. Oh my goodness.
This is aligned. This is the universe bringing us together.
And it's been so aligned. So I think I only signed the contract in like October or November last year.
Okay.
And I keep saying to Natasha, it is moving quicker than
Yeah.
either of us can keep up with. But it's not
Yeah.
because we're trying to rush it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
naturally, the whole process has just been like go, go, go. What
Yeah.
was so special to me is that when you write a book, or my experience, that's what I can talk about. People close to me really enjoyed reading it, but I was
Yeah.
like, you know me, like you love me
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So the fact that like Natasha, who now I know, I haven't actually met her, but a publisher could read it and think,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, this world needs your book. We need to get it out there.
Yeah.
So much to me.
Yeah. Well, look, it's out there or it's about to be out there and
Yeah.
it certainly on pre-order right now. So Jamie, tell us the best way to connect with you. You're on Instagram,
Yeah.
you oh my gosh. I know that world is scary because I went
Okay.
from like, just me to bringing Yellow Shelf out. So I completely understand that scary leap of the world of
Yeah.
socials. Tell
Yes.
us the best way to connect with you or if we're curious about the book. How do
Yeah.
we?
So through the therapist in therapy with dots in between, because I couldn't get it without dots in between on Instagram.
Someone's taken it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other way is I have a website and it's my name. So it's jamiemaserow.com.
Yes.
And on there, there's an email address to email
Yeah. To,
me.
to reach out.
Yeah, to reach out if anyone wanted to. And there's links to the book and where to find it.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's,
Jamie,
yeah.
I'll put that in the show notes
Oh,
to
thank
make it really easy for people to connect. Congratulations. I mean, I loved about hearing about the book, and I obviously loved hearing about the journey because you're a first-time author, went
Yeah.
straight to memoir. It's out there. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us at Yellow Shelf.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Cheers.